So what's up, guys? This is my first video on haircutting tutorial. This is my brother. We're gonna be doing mid to high fade on him. He likes it real simple, no edge up, nothing, just straight. Let's get into it. So right now, what I just did is I combed all his hair into place, basically kind of get it where you want it to, how he's gonna comb it himself. And right now, as you can see, I am balling him out with my babyless trimmers, and we're gonna do a symmetrical line from across his head. Right now we're taking off all the hair, the excessive hair that we don't need. So right now we're just touching up, see if there's any loose hairs that we were supposed to, take off. Make sure you brush off your client as well. Make sure everything's nice and neat before you move on. Also make sure that he's comfortable. No hairs in his eyes, stuff like that. Right now, what I'm performing is a shave. The shaving part with my Noracos. I'm hitting it with the Andes. It gives it more of a smooth transition to your fades. It creates another how do you say it? Another level of fading. So it makes your haircut stand out even more than just hitting it with the trimmers. So when you hit it with the shaver, you want to go the way that the hair goes, so you can get it as close as possible to the skin. Make sure not to apply too much pressure, because you can leave your clients with razor bumps, and you don't want to leave them any razor bumps, because it can cause ingrown hairs, and they hurt. They really hurt whenever it starts to grow out. So right now, I just finished getting the whole bottom part. What we're gonna start doing is that, as you can see, I'm still going over some of the spots. But right now, what we're about to start doing is there's this little faint line, a little gap between the whole haircut, or the whole shave. So from the bottom part that's already shaved, you always want to leave like an inch part, and right now we're fading that part in, so when we move on with the fade, you won't get such a harsh line from your Morocco to when you start fading into it with your half or your one, or when you want to start with the clipper closed. So right now I got my half guard and I went with it all the way closed, and right now I'm making my first initial guideline, which is with my half guard closed, which is equivalent to having it open without no guard. So you want to do like around like a half an inch to an inch of a guideline. Right now I opened up my clipper all the way open with my half guard, and I'm taking it up about another half an inch. And in between that, you want to go with your lever halfway closed. Kind of start picking out that line, that middle line that you start to leave from the first guideline, and make sure you start playing with the lever. So you want to go from open to halfways, and then to a quart closed, and you start blending out that line. Once you see that line's blend out, go ahead and proceed with the next opposite side. So I'm doing the same thing as I did before. I'm going about half an inch on my clipper close on my half guard. As soon as I have everything how I want it, I open it up again. Make sure you go against his hair. My brother's hair does go a certain direction, so right now you're gonna see that I kind of angle the clipper a certain way so I can get more into the hair, so the whole hair can be as equal. So the same thing with the other side. Just make sure you have you go also once you go all the way open, go halfway on your clipper, and just start picking out that line, stuff like that. Right now, what I'm doing is I got my white tooth comb. I'm taking out all the excessive bulk that you don't really need. So yeah, I apologize. My phone, my camera did die on me at that very moment, so I had to get it to record again. But so we took off all the bulk as you seen in the previous video. Right now what I do is I get my one guard and I take it up and I start picking at that line. I start to fade into it. So usually when I do start, I start with it open and I gradually start closing it, and use a lot of my corners once I start using that one. And like I said, my brother's hair in the back, he does have that calic, so you want to start hitting the hair the way that it goes, so you can get more of a precise cut. Also, my brother, he does have dark hair, so on the top ridge, if you feel like if you go with the Johnny B comb or a suavecito comb and you feel like you're gonna take off a lot, you can always use thinning shears or a shear of a comb to get any of the darkness off of the hair. So same thing as we did on the other side, going in with my one, hitting it at a certain angle so we can get the full extent of the blend. Right now I have it open. As you can see, I'm hitting it with my corners, making sure I don't grab too much, but just the right amount, so we can have a contour to the blend. Once again, like we did on the other side, go ahead and use your scissors to line up some of those dark spots that you feel you might cut off a little more through the Johnny B comb. And right now, since we're already pretty much done with the top, we'll go back in and detail it right now in a little bit, but I'm taking off that bottom line, taking about like half an inch up or a quarter of an inch with trimmers, so we can get that bald line out a lot easier. So right now I got the fast feed to how I'm all the way closed. I take it up about a quarter of an inch, and from there you just start gradually opening it up, maybe just a little by little, and start going a quarter of an inch up again until you see that your face coming in smooth. Right now I probably have it halfway open, and right now going up a quarter of an inch again. Once you're halfway open, you just want to start playing with the lever, start seeing how you're gonna start blending it. Use a lot of your corners once you get to this point of the fade, because once you open it, you don't want to take it too high where you create another guideline. And if you do, don't be afraid, because right now what we're gonna do after we're done taking out that bottom line and kind of detailing in between the clipper closed to your half, we get our half guard on, our number 0 guard, 0.5, and we just start attacking little dark spots, little lines that you see. And now that the right side is pretty much already done. Same thing on this side, close it all the way, take it up a quarter of an inch, open it gradually, each time go up a quarter of an inch. once you have it all the way open, you want to make sure you don't use a full extended blade. You want to use your corners a lot. So if you do create a little dark spot or a lighter spot, you can use your half guard and smooth out that transition of the fade. So as you can see, I got my half guard on there. I'm attacking that line that I see. Just trying to make it as smooth as possible. Right there, my brother's hair actually goes forward, so we're going against the grain to get it as close as possible so we can start smoothing out that fade. And as I was turning him, I noticed that on his right side it was a little bit darker, so I went ahead and started touching it up again with the half guard, because you know, detail is pretty much what you want to have in your fades. It's a process. So right there, he did just want trimmers, so we went ahead and gave him a little C cups, little light C cups. My camera died again for some reason. I don't know what was going on, but we went ahead and turned it on again. We're already towards the end right now. Clean up my brother. Right now we're about to spray some aftershave. So before you do all that, you want to make sure you get everything around the ears. Make sure everything's good. You know, you have everything all good. Spray some aftershave. When I was spraying aftershave, I kind of noticed that in the back I left just a little tiny line that I've noticed, and I went back and retouched it up, mainly because, you know, detail is the most important thing when you're in a haircut. And yeah, so this is just detailing. I'll apologize for not turning them towards the camera. I was already having him get up and stuff like that. Right now we're just gonna add some gel. He did have a client that he was gonna meet up, so he wanted to make sure we wanted to make sure that he was looking as presentable as possible. So yeah, right now we're gonna get our comb just to style it a little bit better. He was trying to go over for a comb over. So yeah. And there we go. Mid to high fade right here. I didn't get a 360 view of it, or show you guys a 360 view of it. I do apologize, but this is the haircut right here. I hope you guys like it, and yeah, I'll try making another one. So stay tuned.